what it do, baby? English Friday. And another one. And another one. And another one. Yeah, it's been a long time since we've put close English Fridays, but you know what? It's that time of the year. We all have to drive a long time. We have to wash the dishes. We have to run outside, hit the gym, hitting and banging, clang, bam, bam, bam. And while you're doing all those amazing things, what are you doing at the same time? Listening to this great podcast. And we have a great one today because Brent Hayden, we recorded that a while ago. I think it was in March, February or March. It was when we didn't know if he was going to qualify for the Olympics, if there was going to be Olympics. We didn't, and we're still like, don't know. We kind of know, but we're like, well, let's put the games at another place, guys, because I'm saying that like it's easy, but god damn, no fans in the crowd, Jesus. But yeah, so I spoke to Karin, his PR, and she hooked us up in February, and we had a great talk. This guy is inspiring. If you feel down, listen to this guy. This dude, I'm gonna be cheering this dude from my house so hard and so loud, cause man, that guy, first of all, gave us a lot of time, and second of all, he's so relatable. Like, we all go through bad things. We'll all go through dark times, and the way that he's coming out of that, bruh, or girl, it's crazy. So, Brent Hayden, my guest today on the pod. Don't forget to buy our stuff at zonekr.ca at 30% off with the code HABS, HABS, like the Canadians. Habs, you get 30% off, and yeah, enjoy the pod. We enjoyed doing it, and remember, we did that in February, so you'll see it when we talk, or you'll hear it when we talk, because now we have the video version, but not for this one because we're in February, and we started the video version like a month ago. Yeah, a lot of things going on with Sans Restriction. That's why we booming. Go follow us on Instagram at Sans Restriction. Thank you, Bruno, partner of the pod, Mathieu Brutus for the music, and there we go, baby. Brent Hayden on Sans Restriction, baby. All right, so look, when she talked to me about that man, first of all, I knew that man. I knew him because I watched him on TV, so it wasn't a surprise for me when she told me that this man was able to come on the pod, and I was like, yeah, this dude needs to be on Sans Restriction because he is a Sans Restriction guy. But when Karine Delage, who's helping us with La Classique, with all the PR stuff, said we can make it happen, I said, let me go read on the guy just to make sure that I know everything. And now the man is doing a comeback. Don't call him the comeback kid. Call him the comeback champ. Brent Hayden, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm trying so hard not to laugh while you're talking. I'm literally like got my mouth covered trying to hold it in.
Yo, man, he's doing a comeback? You're coming back?
Oh man, I never thought I would be doing this. But it feels good to be back, I gotta say.
I know, but look, because me, I watch wrestling, okay? I do a wrestling commentary for WWE on TVA Sport back in Montreal in French. And comebacks in wrestling, like, people remember it forever. Like, we remember things from 2002, from 94. Like, comebacks are huge. Are you putting some pressure on yourself? Or you're like, man, I'm going to try to do something, and then, I'm going to eat that Tokyo food, and that's going to be fine.
I mean, like, it's funny. It's like I'm not necessarily like doing this comeback because like I'm trying to I want to have like a big comeback story and this big whole hoopla thing. Like I'm doing this for me, right? Because when I retired in 2012, like I left swimming in a really bad place. I've talked about it. How I was struggling with depression. And kind of getting that medal was kind of like my chance to leave the sport on a high note. But I left that sport in a really bad place. So when I decided to do this comeback, I just realized that this was an opportunity for me to fall in love with the sport again. And if I can make some great results while I'm doing that, then that's all bonus. Like I'm doing this just for the journey, and like I just want to fall in love with the sport again.
But something you touched and want to touch about it later, but let's do it right now because you touch about the depression, and I'm talking to a lot of athletes on the pod. I mean, NHLers, hockey player, football player, basketball player, everybody, and we rarely talk about depression. We rarely talk about that thing that even me in my job, I have to face that more often than not often. So for you to come forward and for it to be a backstory of that comeback, was it hard to come forward with this, or you know what? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, it was something I didn't want to talk about. Back when it was happening, at least publicly, because I was definitely talking with a lot of people in my inner circle, because I think it's really important when you are struggling like that to make sure that you don't bottle it all up inside, because it'll eat you from the inside, and that is not something that you want to have happen, because it's just going to push you even further into that hole. So I think the thing that actually saved me from going any deeper was, I was talking about it with my sports psychologist, my coach, my then fiance, now my wife, basically like anybody who was able to listen. That was a really important part of the process. But it definitely took time after I retired before I started to actually open up and talk about it publicly, because I think most people just assumed that, I retired because, I was 27 years old. I was the oldest one in the final by 5 years. I've been on the national team for 10 years. It was my third Olympics. I'm just ready to move on, right? But that's really not what happened. Like if I was in the mental state and the emotional state to continue moving forward and keep on racing, like 100%, I would have kept going. But yeah.
Because okay. Look, I'm gonna be real. I'm a brother. I don't swim. When I go in the water, I try to survive, not to have fun. Now, how in the hell will you be able to be back from what you did in London in 2012? That's 10 years ago. Now you're coming back. I don't understand the swimming thing then.
Oh man, like it's so funny because like when I was like training all the time, going for London or whatnot, if I took 1 week off of swimming, I can't even tell you how weird it felt to get back into the water. Like the water just feels so foreign to you. Like your sensory of it is completely thrown off, and sometimes it can take a few days to get back into it. And then if you take the rest of the summer off, or the actual off season, you could take up to a month. I took I think 2 or 3 months off after the Beijing games. Like it takes a while to get back into it. So I was really surprised when I started getting back in the water at how good I actually felt on the very first day. Now, like this isn't like the first day of training. This was just me and my wife being in Lebanon and filming our online swim course. So I obviously had to get in the pool to do that. But like I was surprised at how good my stroke felt, but also was surprised at how good and strong my body felt in the water as well. So I think that was the first thing that kind of started kicking that little spark that kind of said, well, what if you did come out of retirement? I was definitely stronger then, because in those 7 years, even though I wasn't swimming, I was definitely lifting a lot of weight. So I put on about 15 pounds of muscle in my retirement. So I was kind of curious, like, well, if I'm feeling this good in the water, could I actually use those years of not swimming and just lifting weights to actually make me more powerful in the water? So that was definitely that sort of a curiosity aspect to it.
Okay, but look, you were there in 2004, like '04. You were there at 10. I remember I watched those Olympics on TV. I remember I was like, yo, this is like the greatest thing. I think it was because 2002 was when the women's hockey team won the championship. Kim St. Pierre was in the net and everything. And then 2004, I was like, yo, Ian Thorpe is a bad mother effer. Now, with all that baggage from 2004, you're bringing that to 2020 with younger kids. What can you bring to them with all that baggage except experience? Because experience is the easy answer.
Well, man, you just took my answer away from me.
Of course I did.
Well, I mean, so look, like something that we get indoctrinated with, and I think it is getting better, but it was definitely playing on everyone's mind when I was a younger athlete, that we have this really narrow window of our prime athletic years where that could when you're in your early 20s, like 22 to 24, those are your athletic prime years. So if you want to succeed in this sport, those are the years you're probably going to do it in. And some people will hit that maybe a little earlier, but like everything after that, it's like your body's aging. It's you're dealing with overuse injuries, your joints, your tendons. So there's like little, like we're kind of indoctrinated to think that our life as professional athletes is actually quite small. So, when I won my medal in London, I walked out onto that pool deck, the oldest swimmer by 5 years at the age of 27. The guy that won gold, Nathan Adrian, like he was 22. And so then there's me with the bronze, 27. I really actually did feel like I was old then. But now my body feels stronger than it's ever felt before at the age of 37, right? A decade later. So I was at the ISL, the International Swim League in Budapest in November. And one of the kind of recurring comments that I was getting from the other athletes on the pool deck. Now, these are superstars that weren't even racing like around it in my time. So I'd never met these people in person. They were kind of came up, the Rio Olympics and whatnot. But they were like thanking me for showing them that their careers can actually be much longer, that if they are feeling like they're a little bit older, that now suddenly that like I've pushed that mark back further for them, and they can start thinking like, well, I might be getting older, but I can still keep being amazing and still having performances. I might just need to tweak my training to match my age or so I can apply to how my body responds to training. So I thought that was something really cool. And I think that's kind of one of the impacts I've already started to have on the swimming community.
Okay. So when I watch football, because I'm a football coach, I cannot have fun anymore because I'm always analyzing football. When you stopped swimming, could you still be able to watch the other Olympics or the other World Championship with while being a fan and not being a guy that analyzes everything?
Yeah, like I'll be honest, like I really wasn't following swimming too much, except at the Olympics, right? Like I definitely made sure I was watching, the women's 100-meter freestyle. So I watched Penny Alexiak tie for that gold medal. Like that was super exciting. But other than the big events, like I was not following it at all, because I think it just kind of made me feel a little bit more depressed, especially when I'm seeing times. I'm like, oh man, I could have been swimming with those guys still. I could still compete with those guys. Like the Rio Olympics, my time from London actually would have been a silver medal. So I'm like, oh man, if I had stayed around for another 4 years, could I've actually had another medal, even a better color hanging around my neck, right? So I don't know. It was it was swimming was a weird place for me during those years.
Okay, now, cell phone is firing up right now. Like it's crazy because the Japanese government have privately concluded that the Tokyo Olympic will have to be canceled because of the coronavirus, and the focus is now on securing the games for the city in the next available year. This is some crazy stuff going on right now. I don't know if your phone is buzzing and everything. The question is not what is your take. That's not the question. Is with everything going on with the coronavirus, how can you handle things like that, because I mean things can change in 2-3 months because people are getting vaccinated, but it's been a year now. You're preparing a comeback, and then coronavirus is I'm gonna say the word, it's fucking up everything everywhere. So how can you handle everything?
Yeah, like I just gotta remember that this isn't about me, right? Like, it's a global pandemic, and it makes you step back and realize, you know what, like there's just more important things than sport. As amazing as it will be to go to Tokyo, and I do hope it still happens, whether it's this summer at a later date. Like I don't know, like it's out of my control. Like I know so many people have already been affected by it. I know people who have died from it. Like my wife's first swim coach back in Lebanon, Asman, like he actually just passed away like 2 weeks ago from Corona. So
Oh no.
if it means that I don't get to swim 2 lengths in a pool in Tokyo, then that's fine with me. Like I can sacrifice that. But I think just the way that my training and everything has also been going, right? Like I'm actually leaning towards preparing myself to actually just, like, you know what, Tokyo may or may not happen. Well, what about Paris? Right.
Mm.
So like I came out of retirement thinking that this was going to be a 1 year thing, right? Because I got 1 year till Tokyo, and if it happens, it happens. If not, it doesn't. But at least I won't have that what if hanging over my head. But man, like the journey apart from COVID and everything, my own personal swimming journey has just been going so well that, you know what, like Paris 2024 racing as a 40-year-old, I could probably do that.
Yeah, but I know, but that spirit, that thinking, that way of seeing things. I mean, did you always had that, or it developed during the fact that you were retired? Are you more hungry now, or when you wanted to make it to the Olympics?
You know what? It's different now. Like I'm definitely hungry. I definitely want to prove something, but it's just different. It's really tough to really put it into words exactly what it is. But I can tell you, when I show up to the pool to train now, my mental state is very, very different than it was before. Like even take the depression out of it, just my mindset is totally different, because back then swimming is something that I'd been doing my whole life. Like I didn't know life without swimming. Like I just didn't know any different. It's just what I did, right? So it was very routine. But now that I've made the decision to come back, and just that opportunity, I am just filled with gratitude every single day I go to the pool. Even the days that my body doesn't even want to be there, because like there are days where it's like, you see a hard workout and your body just kind of, you get like the sick pit in your stomach because you're like, and like I'm so tired right now. Like I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, but I still have that sense of gratitude. I remember the first time in this comeback, I was doing this really hard set, and I wanted to throw up while I was swimming, because my lactic acid was basically like flooding my muscles, and and as I'm feeling like I'm going to vomit, I actually told my body, "Thank you." This like
Oh,
just so thankful for actually being in this position where I can actually push myself like this, and yeah, it's really cool.
but that's crazy, man. I mean, look, I'm like I said, I don't do that swimming stuff that y'all do. That's not what I do. Like I don't go in the air and I don't go in the water. I was born to stay on the ground. Now, um, when because what can you describe me the feeling of that water smacking you, and you being in the water and stuff, like, because I can't understand it. We had Catherine Savard on the pod, and she'd be trying to tell me I don't know. I don't understand.
Like for me, swimming is very meditative, right? Because you put your head in the water, and it's like all your outside troubles kind of go away,
Hmm.
right? Because it's just you're in the water. All you can hear is the sound of the water flowing past your ears. You're just staring at a black line on the bottom of the pool. So you really start to focus inwards, and it's so when I hear people try to describe that sense that you're trying to, or that state that you try to get into when you're meditating, I'm like, that's very much what I feel when I'm swimming. So swimming to me is more about just feeling like you're wet, right? It's like you're getting into a completely different space that I just can't get into anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, you can make sure that this pod lives on forever and ever, 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 ever. Oh my God. Oh my God. I almost like choked on my own saliva. Could you imagine I choked on my own saliva on the podcast? Nobody would know. They'd be like, how did Kevin die? While choking his own saliva because he wants to plug his t-shirts and hats on zonekr.ca to make sure that the pod lives on for. That's how he died? That's boring. On my own saliva. Not even a banana or a peach or shit like that. My own saliva? Okay, so you can make sure that this. Oh my God, I almost died again with my own saliva. Why do I have so much saliva in my mouth? Yo, fuck the plug. I don't want to die doing the plug with my saliva. Maybe I should swallow. Do I have water? Oh, wait. I got some rum. Okay. Now I swallowed. And I'm good to go. You can make sure that this pod lives on forever, forever, ever, forever, ever by buying the gear sans restriction on the zonekr.ca, and you will have 30% off with the code HABSHABS. Let's go back to Brent Hayden. Goddamn saliva. Okay, now we talked about swimming a lot. Now I need to talk about what do you like, what you've been binging since the pandemic. Did you watch Tiger King 6 times?
I wouldn't say we watched it 6 times, but yes, we definitely binged Tiger King. I think one of my wife's favorite things to do is whenever something goes wrong, she's like, it's like Carol Baskins, right? She's always making Carol Baskins jokes. Yeah, man. Like we binged, The Mandalorian. I'm a huge Star Wars nut. We've actually gone back into my old films. So actually, even right now, we're binging my Lord of the Rings extended edition DVDs. Right, so I still got the DVDs. I got rid of all my DVDs, but there was a few I hung on to, and that was one of them. So we just finished the second disc of the Two Towers last night. So we're going to watch Return of the King maybe tomorrow night or over the weekend. But yeah.
Damn, I've never got into these movies. Star Wars, I watch none of them. I watch none of them. I don't want to know nothing about white bots trying to shoot people and missing all the time. I mean, how many times can a man shoot a gun and miss? It's not possible for me. I don't understand this Star Wars thing. And then the Lord of the Ring, it's too long.
Well, I mean, you've got the non-extended editions, right? So, but I remember one time, me and my teammates, we actually binged all 3 extended editions in one day. I think we started at like 8 or 9 a.m. and we just went all the way until the middle of the night, nonstop.
Oh God. Okay. Wait. We might find a common ground. Wait. Do you watch or love them Harry Potter movies?
They're okay.
What do you mean, okay?
I understand why. I think I understand why people love them, but I never got myself around to actually watching all of them. And every time I'm like, you know what? I want to watch all the Harry Potters. I can never find them all available for streaming. It's like, I think on Netflix or Amazon or something, it's like you go to watch, it's like, oh, you got episodes or 4, 5, and 6, but it's missing part 1, 2, and 3. It's like, no, I want a place where I can watch all of them. So I just never get around to it. And, I'm not into, illegally downloading and things like that. So I'm just like, until somebody can actually put them all on one platform, or at least somebody can tell me where I can find them all on one platform, then maybe I'll sit down and actually watch all of them again. But I watched a few of them in theaters, and, they were good, but I'm just not I'm not crazy about them. I will say that I really enjoyed that Cobra Kai though. I think that's been one of my favorite shows to
Oh
watch.
man, we don't watch the same things, man. We
Oh
just don't do it. I'm shocked. Okay, do you watch like Casa del Papel, Money Heist? Did you watch that?
no,
Okay, okay.
no Money Heist.
Did you watch Scandals with Olivia Pope? I mean, Kerry
Nope,
Washington. Okay.
nope,
Did you are you watching Arrow?
nope.
Oh
I mean,
man.
we're
I,
watching Sons of Anarchy right now. We're watching Outlander. I would say like our favorite show actually that my wife and I both like fully enjoy, because most shows like one of us enjoys it a little bit more than the other, but the one show that we were both like, oh man, we both absolutely love this show. It's Vikings, right?
oh
Absolutely
yeah.
love that show.
Yeah, yeah. You would love Peaky Blinders. Like with everything you tell me that you like, I think you'd like Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, I've actually watched a few episodes, but my wife does not like that show. So it's like I gotta
Ah
find a time
man.
when like it's just me sitting down watching TV,
Yeah.
right? Then I'll watch it at those times. But we always enjoy our evenings actually spending that time together. So that's but I always keep that show kind of in the back of my mind. But actually, I'll tell you a really cool fact actually about Vikings. If the listeners here have actually watched that show, like
Yeah.
there's one character, Harold Finehair. So my parents, they actually have a book of our family tree. I don't know who in our family actually does the research, but like I've got this family tree book going like back like hundreds and hundreds of years. And actually, Harold Finehair and his brother Halfdan the Black are actually both in my family tree. Now, I don't know exactly where I am in that family tree, but I gotta tell you, it's pretty cool actually. Watching the show and being like, oh my god, those are my ancestors. I can actually see my character, like my ancestors, actually being portrayed on the big screen. But I think in my
That's
family tree they're
crazy.
actually father and son, but in the show they're brothers. But I always thought that was
Wow.
pretty cool.
That's crazy. Did you
And
contact them?
no, no.
He said nah.
But there is one actor on the show. Oh my god, what was her name? Her last name is Ragnarsson, like Rega Ragnarsson, I think. She was actually a swimmer for Iceland. Right. So there is this actually like a
Yeah.
former international swimmer like on the show. So I thought that was really cool. I got a kick out of that show watching when she actually like did a dive into the water off the boat. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a swimmer's dive for sure.
Okay, but okay. So could you if could you be like an actor? Like, is it something that you ever like thought about to say, you know what, maybe I can play a cop at District 31, a famous TV series we have here in Quebec. I can be a cop. That's my dream
Yeah,
to be a cop on that show.
I think if a show approached me, I would probably consider it.
Nice.
But like like if Vikings, I know can tell you right now, like if Vikings actually approached me for the show, I know they're done the new season and they're starting the show, but I think they're doing a new spin-off called Viking Valhalla. But like if they actually approached me, I'd be like, you know what, yeah, I would probably consider doing that.
You got to grow a beard though. Can you grow a beard? Because I
No,
mean, you got that baby
can't
face thing
grow a beard.
going.
I don't know if you noticed, but I have a little difficulty in the hair department.
That's some Michael Jordan shit.
Yeah, yeah. I can't grow hair on my head. My facial hair is patchy, man. Like I got no help from my parents in that department.
Oh, that's fun. Okay, so when you in the water or when you training, because I guess you cannot have earphones while you training and stuff.
Yeah,
But
like there are some headphones.
oh yeah,
I prefer not to use them though. I find like I'm thinking so much and I'm
you're thinking.
analyzing. Yeah, my brain is constantly thinking. Like I'm thinking about my stroke. I'm thinking like I'm analyzing how the water feels as it's flowing against my skin, right? Because that's how I make micro adjustments to make sure I'm putting my body into the
Oh,
most hydrodynamic position, and I'm holding as much water on my hand and form as I can. Yeah, so when I put music on, I think my swimming technique would probably wouldn't it would probably deteriorate just because like I'm not focused where I need to be focused. And because it's like it's a good, with technology like constantly in our faces and in
Yeah.
our ears all the time, like it's a good way for me to kind of like have a timeout from technology.
Okay, so when Olympic athletes come on the pod, and then when they win some medals and or stuff like that, I always ask them if you could put a soundtrack on that, either that event, like when you won the medal, your race. If you could put a soundtrack, what song it would be?
Oh man. I could probably be thinking about this all day and probably not even tell you, but or not be able to come up with an answer. But I'll tell you, like the music I'm listening to right now that fires me up for training. I've got three bands that I'm listening to, so I don't know if I've just like suddenly discovered like this love for like Scandinavian metal, but like it's so cheesy, but like I absolutely love it. It's like got this like a sweet like 80s vibe to it. But like there's Beast in Black, which is great because the lead singer is he's bald like me, so like okay, so you don't actually need long hair to be a metalhead.
That's
Battle Beast,
great.
and then yeah, Battle Beast, and then this other band Dynasty with a Z. Um, yeah, like I just play those guys, and it fires me up for training.
But when when you guys do, because I don't know if you do the relay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Like
so
I was
when
even doing the relay at the ISL.
Okay, so when you do the relay, if you could choose, because I asked that to the hockey players, who would be your starting five all time to play with you for your last pickup game. So for your last swim ever, then you die, you disappear, like just like Avengers, you're gone. So last race, who would be your three partners?
Oh man, like can I pick swimmers from like any country?
You can pick Denzel Washington if you want to.
um, well, I definitely have to. I would have to say probably Bruno Fratus, uh,
Okay.
Caleb Dressel,
Okay.
and probably ooh, that's a tough one. What the last one? It would either be Florent Manadou or Anthony Irvin. I think
Okay, well, you
that
got
would
to
be
pick
tough.
one. You got to disappoint one of them. You got to disappoint one of them.
I'm gonna have to go with my man Anthony then.
I thought you would not answer, but you said, you know what? This guy gonna cry tonight.
No, I mean, man, like no, because like Anthony, man, like his story is absolutely incredible. Like this guy won the gold medal at the 2000 Olympic Games in Sydney. He retired. His life, went off track. There were drugs involved. Like he really went into a dark place.
Yeah,
But then he came back. So remember, like he was at the Sydney Olympics, right? That was 21 years ago. He came back and won the gold medal in 2016 in the same event, the 50-meter freestyle. Like
that's
that is a
crazy.
comeback story. So he's actually one of the guys. He's one of the guys I actually reached out to when I was contemplating my comeback to be like, "Yo, dude, like, do you think I have it in me to do it?" And like, he was one of the guys that was like, "Yeah, dude, like you got to do this. Like you got this. You like I believe in you." So because of that, I mean, I'd have to go with my man Anthony Irvin.
Okay, before we leave, because he guy is the greatest of all time, so we need to talk about the man. How impressive is that dude Phelps stuff, medal chasing guy? How good is
Oh,
he?
like Oh man, Phelps was amazing. I mean, one, like the versatility to be able to do so many different events, and then also be able to turn, like you don't really realize like how quickly he actually turns around from one event and having to go do another. Like he'd be standing on the podium, and his next event would already be in the ready room. So like he would leave the podium, go to like get his gold medal, go back to the ready room, and then walk back out for the very next event, and then go win the gold medal again. Right, like that ability to turn around and be able to throw that performance down again is like it's virtually unheard of. Like for me, I do one event, like I'm done. Like I, I gotta go.
Wow.
I gotta go eat. I gotta go sleep. I'll come back tomorrow. Right. Like, but he could keep coming back. I mean, I think we're starting to see more athletes starting to be versatile like that. Like swimmers aren't the one-trick ponies anymore. Right, like you've got Caleb Dressel now, who's he's crushing it, in so many events from the freestyles and butterflies. Right, like so I think swimmers like him will become more normal, but will they match the same number of Olympic medals? I mean, that will be like extremely difficult to do. Like, I think Dressel is probably the closest that we're going to get to it. But I mean, who knows really? Like, I don't like to put limits on what other people can achieve, because honestly, we probably thought that what Phelps did was going to be impossible, and he did it. So.
Yeah. That's great, because there's no limit of what anybody can do, but there's no limit about what you can do. We will be supporting, we will be cheering. Like I tell the boys, anything you need, I'm there. And then enjoy the comeback. Comeback is comeback season is on the way, and I know BC is pretty far, but then whenever you in town and the corona is gone, I'll bring you to some good steaks and sushis and stuff.
Oh man, I love it. Definitely. And same to you if you're ever out this way.
I'll let you know, man. You be safe, and thank you so much for your time, brother.
Thanks, Kevin.
Amazing talk with Brent. Dude is amazing, and yeah, I love everything about the guy, and I will be supporting the guy 100%. And thank you so much for listening to the pod. Thank you so much for being there with us since day one. And if you haven't been there since day one, it's okay. We still love you. If you you jumped in the bandwagon. I said a hump. Can I hump a bandwagon? If you jump in the bandwagon, it's okay. There's plenty of space, baby. So, let's have some fun. Let's keep on going, and let's keep on create content, because content is king, and we're gonna create as much content as we can. We have so many English Fridays like down the pipelines. You will be shocked with the guests that we had. So thank you so much for being there. Love you, and I see you soon.